What? What is that? Oh no, it's Kissy Missy! Hey! Pull the lever! Can you hit the thing for me? Yo! She's friendly?
Kissy Missy didn't kill the train staff like she was supposed to.
Look, she hasn't moved.
But to that I say, look again.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm buying this, dude.
That's why I'm making this log, so that the same mistake
I don't know if I've ever seen that one. Hey everyone, it's your friend Thinknoodles, and welcome back to Think Reacts, where today we are reacting to a game theory episode on Poppy Playtime called We Solved Kissy Missy. Now, I've always wondered about Kissy Missy, how she seems to be the only truly helpful character in Poppy Playtime. I mean, Poppy starts off in chapter 2 as helpful, and then she isn't. I mean, well, she takes over the train for her own selfish desires and doesn't help us escape at all, as she said she did. I'm gonna go ahead and like the video, and I would appreciate it if you'd like mine as well. If you enjoy my reactions, I'm also already subscribed. Now, if you guys want to watch this episode of Game Theory without me interrupting, I'll put a link in the description so you can check it out, because I promise you I will pause this video and annoy you. So let's see how they solved Kissy Missy. Aha. Okay, so wait a minute, what? Okay, all of it, this is empty, wait, empty, okay, I get it. Matt, okay.
Gotten far.
So this, oh, there he goes. So this is actually like a parody of one of the found footages of Huggy Wuggy escaping the factory. And I think they're,
Stay alert.
they're making a Matt Pat.
There.
Oh, there he is.
Stay calm.
He's got Jeff's eyes.
I'm not here to hurt you. How about a Diet Coke? You want one? Yeah?
What is this, dude?
Hello, Internet. Welcome to Game Theory.
Nice, with the
show
logo
that
with the Poppy
only gives you
Playtime
one
font.
instruction: have fun.
Smash the subscribe button.
Mysterious red text that isn't the same as the rest? Totally not suspicious. Today, with the FNAF timeline finally behind me, we are overdue to cover something completely different.
And the reason that it is probably overdue is, and I'm sure he's thought of this as well, we're getting to almost a year, well, almost a year from Poppy Playtime Chapter 2's release, which should mean that Poppy Playtime Chapter 3 is imminent. I can't imagine they're gonna go much longer than a year between chapters, but you know, I've been wrong
game
before.
where we explore an abandoned children's entertainment venue filled with oversized characters that were at one point friendly, but then turned evil on account of being possessed by the souls of dead children. See, completely different. Yes, my friends, we're hopping back onto the Poppy Playtime train because while I've been busy over in my own personal animatronic hellscape, Mob Entertainment has been dropping all sorts of new content. The spin-off title Project Playtime, the complex multi-month-long ARG, and my other favorite form of content, analog horror YouTube videos, because you can't spell analog horror without the lore. Oh, I suppose you can. There's no E in analog horror. Well, guess what? It's a silent E anyway. Call it the phonetic spelling of lore. So far, Mob has released two quote-unquote lost VHS tapes to their
Kissy
YouTube
Missy and the
channel.
Huggy
One
Wuggy.
from 1992 and the second from 1995. Look, the titles have the dates in there and everything. Even a .mp4 at the end for that truly authentic lost footage feel. Despite the fact that the MP4 as a file format didn't exist until 2001.
Exactly.
But who am I to judge? Anachronistic file formats aside, these things aren't just filled with a bunch of mindless spooks building hype for the eventual release of Chapter 3, they're also filled with clues to the lore. And I think, thanks to one of these, I've been able to solve the identity of a fan favorite character. Everyone's beloved jumbo pink plushie, Kissy Missy. Who's hidden inside our floppy little friend? I think I have the answer for you. So grab your tranquilizer darts and flashlights, theorists. There's a theory on the loose. The first VHS released onto the channel was called Restricted Disappearance 06/18/1992.mp4. In this video, we see Huggy escape the facility and run out into the woods with a large group of Playtime employees in pursuit. 5 end up dead and 6 remain missing. Seems like Huggy can't be stopped. But then the video ends with an ominous scene of the giant
outside
Huggy
someone's house, though, right?
standing next to a normal residential house. He's captured and brought back to the facility. In terms of lore, this video does a lot with very little. On the surface, this tape feels very straightforward. Huggy escapes the facility, scares ensue, and then he's brought back. But this
Scares ensue. Murders. You skipped the murdering part, Matt.
Short, basic narrative actually goes a long way to confirm many suspicions that we've had about the characters and the events of this franchise. First, this video reinforces the timeline of the Bigger Bodies initiative, Playtime Co.'s push to create giant toys that help around the factory. We know via unlockable cards that are found in Project Playtime that Mommy Longlegs started as a Bigger Body creation before they wound up making toys of her in 1991. So this VHS taking place in 1992 fits into that rather nicely. The project is in full swing at this point, and the trapped toys are starting to get restless. It also confirms something that we've suspected for a while now, that some of these giant toys were created using orphans in some way. That's why we see Huggy standing outside of a house at the end of the tape.
That his old
just
house?
trying to go back home. The home that he was either adopted into or his foster home. His childlike instincts taking him back to the last place that he felt safe. It's this incredibly sad, somber moment that does a lot to showcase the tragedy of this game's story. And that's not all. This Huggy seems to be acting differently to the one that we met in Chapter 1. Huggy escapes the facility, but there's no mention of violence towards the staff. Huggy only seems to become violent to the employees after they shoot at him. This tells me that Huggy, and presumably some of the other experiments like him, aren't naturally violent. It also reinforces what we see in Project Playtime's tutorial. Huggy is largely complacent until the prototype urges Huggy to kill.
They are trying to build more toys, more like you. Kill everyone in sight.
It really seems like the Bigger Bodies monsters are the collateral damage in this war between Playtime Co. employees and the prototype, Experiment 1006. They're the innocents that wind up being caught in the middle. This is something that we can start to see more clearly in the next tape, Restricted Relocation 0808-1995.
And we've reacted to both of these already.
In this newest VHS tape, we see Kissy Missy
and she gets put on a train and then she gets
in August of 1995. The tape repeatedly tells us not to view the footage. I can't possibly see that plan going wrong in any way. Again, just shows the absolute negligence of this company. So of course, we keep watching, and in true Playtime Co. fashion, things start to go wrong. We travel down the rails with Kissy strapped to the train. As we ride, we pass by graffiti on the wall that reads, "The hour of joy is at hand." In between camera shots, we see text flash on screen meant to be instructions for employees, but then each message winds up getting overridden by capitalized red text that says basically to do the opposite. It tells them to release the straps that bind Kissy Missy, which, as you'd expect, means that the employees wind up dead at the side of the tracks. It's another simple, straightforward tape that does an incredible job of hiding tons of lore clues in plain
she's still
sight.
there,
Let's
though.
just start
She
with the
hasn't
date,
moved.
shall we? Poppy's already done a great job of mapping out a very clear timeline for us, unlike some other franchises. At this point, we know when each toy was made, starting with Poppy in 1950 and ending with Boogiebot in 1993. And because Mommy Longlegs was a big body before her toy released in 1991, we also know that the giant toys were in development sometime before that. At this point, the only key date that we're really missing is the day that the toys went rogue, destroying the facility and either kidnapping or killing members of the staff, as we hear in the background of this
nightmare
Chapter
horror
1
started.
VHS tape.
That's why I'm making this log, so that the same mistake won't be made twice.
But now, thanks to a combination of this
I don't know if
relocation
I've
tape
ever
as
seen
well as
that
the developer interview, I think we can tell when it happened. Recently, the developers went onto Discord to answer a bunch of questions.
I remember watching this, a bit of it.
Playtime Co. factory shut down. Well, I'm sure we all would have loved to have a definitive answer from them. Where's the fun in that? They had to make us work for it. What they did clarify, though, was that the factory did not shut down in the 2000s. This then narrows our window to a 7-year period between 1993
I was gonna say,
and 1999,
before that.
which, let's say, is a lot more precise than we've had up to this point. But I actually think we can do it one better. Take a listen to the audio that we hear in the background of the Restricted Relocation tape.
Yeah.
Hear those screams in the background? Do they sound familiar?
Whether those who are beneath us understand it or not.
Those screams, the screams of employees being mauled to
they
death
just
by
sound
giant
like
toys,
screams.
those are the screams that we can hear in the distance. The event that shut
could
the
also
factory
be
down
other
happened
screams.
on this date,
You
August
think?
8th, 1995. This is the day of the Great Toy Rampage.
You think? I don't know, man. That's a bit of a stretch. Like, and if his entire argument hinges on that, well, then the second half of this video is pointless. No, I mean, definitely plausible. I'm just not sure that those were the exact same screams. I mean, they could also just be screams of those employees and not the children. You know,
And it's all
I mean,
on
she's
account
still laying
of
there
him,
on the train.
Experiment 1006, the prototype.
Though still missing, today's events are no doubt in relation to him.
He's the one orchestrating this attack on the employees. Not only is he speaking telekinetically to all the toys in the facility, urging them to kill, but he's also the one manipulating these VHS tapes, altering the text to all caps.
Okay, I believe that. I believe that.
To communicate with us, getting not just the monsters to rebel, but the humans watching the tapes to listen to his commands. Suddenly, that graffiti that we see in the tunnel, the hour of joy is at hand, makes a lot more sense. It feels like something that Experiment 1006 would say, or more specifically, the person that became 1006, Elliot Ludwig. His whole goal was to bring joy to children, and after being betrayed and turned into a monster by Leith Pierre and the Doctor, it makes sense that he would use the same terminology, almost ironically. These toys were made from children to be workhorses. Now, he will finally be able to free them and give them the joy that he had promised them since the beginning. Except, there was one thing that didn't quite go according to plan. Kissy Missy didn't kill the train staff like she was supposed to.
Okay,
now,
I'm glad you noticed that, because
like that I've lost it. Clearly, those Playtime employees around
she
her
hasn't
feet
moved.
are dead. Just look at the blood on Kissy, around her feet, around her hands, around her mouth. This is an open and shut case, right?
No.
But to that I say, look again.
What do you think these are? Is that not blood splat? I mean, could be scratches.
1006 is the only creature that we currently know about in this entire facility that has claws capable of creating marks in the wood like that. He has to have been here during this moment, shredding up the employees once he realized that Kissy wasn't going to be doing it herself.
Yeah, that's the thing. So that I believe that it wasn't her. She's so nice. She's nice to us in chapter 2. Why would she kill these employees? And then when we're there in chapter 2, why would she help us? Why would she be the only one that's nice out of everyone to us, yet she killed these people? No. See, that I do believe him that it was another entity, monster, whatever. I don't know if it was necessarily Experiment 1006 or the prototype, but I know it wasn't her. Okay.
What's more, Kissy Missy is laying on top of the scratches. It means that she was standing aside while the prototype slashed and slaughtered everyone around her, and then resumed her position on the train when he was done,
would she do
like
that?
a good, obedient toy. Truly the best girl. You can even
why
see
would she have left at all?
bones or intestines on the floor by her feet.
That's
something
gross.
that would have been eaten if this was any other giant toy. But Kissy refused. She left them there.
Was
This
the
wasn't
Drake
an act of
meme.
hunger like with Huggy killing people. This was 1006 acting out of revenge. Revenge for turning him into a monster, for torturing the kids that he swore to protect, and for locking away the only thing he ultimately cared about,
which
his
was
daughter,
Poppy.
Poppy. But I think we can actually keep going here. I think we can actually prove the identity of Kissy Missy. We're rarely
So we're gonna
given
say
names of
Greta,
actual
what's her
humans
name,
in this
right?
franchise, but when we are given a name, they tend to be repeated a lot throughout the chapters to show that they're going to be important to the ongoing narrative. That said, there are still a couple names right now that haven't led to anything substantial. For instance, during chapter 2, we can actually find this note.
Entire batch of toys is miscolored due to Patty Hall sabotaging the painting machine. Saboteur has since been dealt with.
Patty Hall. This was a new character that we'd never heard about before and was never mentioned again. That struck me as odd. Even one-off characters like Avery, the disgruntled worker from a VHS found in chapter 1, gets himself a second VHS in chapter 2 to flesh him out a bit. But Patty, yeah, she was just there. A random name on a random rejected toy form. Or at least that's
completely
the way
forgot
it
about
was
her.
until the ARG launched. In case you missed this one, the ARG involved us following
that
the
was
story
really
of a new
good.
character, Rowan Stoll, an employee who was slowly figuring out that something wasn't quite right at Playtime.
And like the reflections in his
as
glasses,
a part of that
it was
ARG, he
impressive.
released a bunch of internal documents via an FTP server that we could access. And one of those documents on there was this, a disciplinary document for a familiar face, Patty Hall. Quote,
saboteur.
details of occurrence, sabotage of retail shipment. This week of 1/2/91, employee intentionally sabotaged factory equipment. In particular, a paint machine. The employee mismatched
but we knew this,
57
but
paint canisters, resulting in an extraordinary amount of toys no longer being suitable for retail. Retail shipment number 018345 was recalled, resulting in a significant amount of lost revenue as well as damaging Playtime Co.'s brand image amongst several major retailers. There is substantial evidence supporting the assumption that this sabotage was done in some sort of defiance to several of Playtime Co.'s practices. Plan for disciplinary action, effective immediately. Employee is demoted from toy designer and will be sent downstairs to storage B to receive further instructions.
See, I didn't
All
really
of this
put a
took
lot
place on
into
January January 2nd, 1991.
It's before
signed by
1995.
none other than our good friend and leader of the Bigger Bodies Initiative, the Doctor. The next time we're down in Storage B, there are no employees working there. It is literally a storage room for toys that are being experimented on. Notice the blood that covers this smaller Mommy Longlegs doll in the background. The only living thing that we see in Storage B,
Kissy Missy.
Kissy Missy. Could it be that Kissy Missy and Patty Hall are actually one and the same? I know that might feel like a bit of a stretch, but think about what we're seeing here. It's 1991, so the Bigger Bodies Initiative is in full swing. We have a character in Patty who's openly defiant to those in authority. A chaotic
I'm buying
neutral,
this,
just
dude.
like we see with Kissy defying the prototype's rampage. And we have ourselves a character associated with creating alternate colored versions of other toys, just like how Kissy is an alternate colored Huggy. Plus, the biggest clue of all, the fact that we've only seen Storage B mentioned with regards to these two characters screams a connection. Lastly, it would explain why Kissy Missy is friendly towards us in Chapter 2. Sure, she's against Playtime Co. She has been from the start. She was sabotaging their toys, but I also don't think that she's on the side of 1006. She witnessed the monster kill her fellow employees and cold blood on the train. My gut is that she just wants this whole place to burn. And so when she sees us, a person trapped inside the facility just trying to get out, she's giving us a match. We are the only ones that can stop not only 1006, but also destroy Playtime Co. from the inside, have those still alive brought to justice, and have the fond legacy of Playtime Co. tarnished and forgotten forever. That is why she helped us. And given the instructional video shows her heading towards the play care, I wouldn't be surprised if we bump into her again in chapter 3,
and she'll be helpful.
Take on whatever new threat awaits us. But hey, that's just a theory. A game theory. Thanks for watching.
I'm buying it.
And if you want to keep this Poppy train a-rolling, here's a link to our most recent Poppy theory over on the left, where we break down the secrets in the game's first...
Yeah, I mean, I was a little bit nervous that, you know, around that 7-minute mark, he was gonna lose me there with the screaming and stuff, and I'm still not sure on that date, the 8/8, but it's entirely possible. But I think it's definitely probable and likely that he's right about Kissy Missy. Post your theories in the comments below. If you guys enjoyed my reaction, click the like button and subscribe. Go check out MattPat's channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching, and of course, Noodle line.